First of all, I would like to thank every one of you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. Looking forward to the next 45 minutes, keeping it interactive as much as we can, right? And nextly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're joining us from. I know this webinar is gotten registrants from all parts of the world, so very happy about that. Today's topic you all might be very familiar. Hi, Cheryl from Toronto. Nice to have you here on the webinar. And yeah, keep it as interactive as you guys can, because it's all about talking to you guys and providing you some expert tips that we have with us, right? So that's what this webinar is all about. Please feel free to chime in anytime and provide us with your questions, right? That reminds me of the logistical items I wanted to cover anyway, so I'll just go ahead and talk about that, right? Please feel free to put in your questions throughout the webinar, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. The way we have set up this webinar is 45 minutes with last 15 minutes reserved for answering your questions. We will do a quick introduction at the front, and then talk about the questions that we have prepared for you guys, so that you get to hear the expert tips. And then we will follow that up with the Q&A session with you guys, right? Quick introduction from my side. I am Madhu. I work with integration partners here at Vajro. Vajro is a mobile app development platform company that basically builds these visually appealing apps for e-commerce stores from around the world. We have done it for different types of audience, right? Retail, boutique, and whatnot. So the advantage of Vajro is it's a drag and drop builder, right? It's very easy for you to build your own app. We have 200 plus built-in features baked into the app. And basically you can use that, or you can use 70 plus integrations that we have with technology partners from around the world, like GrowWave, whom we have here right on the call. So you can easily use all of this without any coding experience. You can go ahead and create your own visually appealing, high converting app, right? Before I introduce Tim and pass it off to him, I wanted to set the context on why this webinar is very, very important, right? In the current day and age, digital marketing is constantly evolving, right? There are so many privacy related updates that are happening. There are so many, different retargeting related updates that are happening in the world, which is making life difficult for marketers and store owners like you, right? So we want to provide you with some expert tips on how you can take your existing customers and get more lifetime value out of them, right? For all of this, it would be focusing on, engaging them better, engaging them in meaningful contextual ways, and providing them a great experience on their social store, on your e-commerce store, or on the mobile app, right? That's what it's all about. So that's what we want to focus on today. And Tim here has more than 5 years of experience in doing that, right? He has been doing marketing and growth for Shopify stores and applications around the world. So with that, I'll pass it on to Tim, who can introduce himself a little bit better, and GrowWave.
Hi guys, my name is Tim, and as Madhu mentioned, I have around 5 years of experience in growing Shopify apps, and I'm a partner manager here at GrowWave. So what GrowWave does is we provide a bundle of apps which answers today's webinar questions. We help with the engagement and retention. Our main features are the loyalty program. For the reviews, we have a wish list with personalized emails. We also have Instagram and social login apps, but they're quite small ones. So, and also we do have an integration with great apps like Vajro, and around 20 integrations. We help to increase repeat purchases, improve your retention rate through the meaningful loyalty program, where you can where we help you set the earning rules and spending rules, where we can guide you what emails to send with your wish list and how to best get the reviews from your customers. And yeah, I guess from this point we can go ahead.
Awesome, Tim. Yeah, so like I said, I want this to be a discussion format. So I have prepared some questions, and Tim, I know you might have some slides prepared as well. So we can try and mix and match them and show the audience what they're looking for, right? Basically, one of the first questions that came to my mind, right, when I was doing some research for this webinar was, how do stores address the privacy related challenges that are coming up these days, right? And when I was doing some research, I found out that one of the ways they are addressing this is to rethink their entire loyalty program. So any suggestions on this topic, privacy related changes that are happening and how loyalty can fit into this system that store owners and growth marketers can benefit from?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. Yeah, let's keep it in a discussion format, but if you don't mind, I'll share the slides. And yes, as you mentioned, one thing that privacy policy thingy is getting like very huge, especially in the, I think it's in the last year with this recession. And great thing is that we need to rethink of some additional ways to retain and engage customers better. So I'll just share my screen and go ahead. So what is happening? As Madhu mentioned, platforms became less appealing. Platforms that mainly meta platforms, which are Instagram and Facebook. What happened here? There are a lot of things happened, but in my opinion, one of the biggest impact was conversion window. It decreased for myself. I experienced it myself. It decreased for me from 30 days to 7 days. It's like a very big gap that we cannot track. And also one thing that when I dig down in this topic is that these platforms rely on big data, and big data is not always might be accurate for your niche. So, and there is one basic and cheesy reason is that CPA is getting higher. So this is what is happening. And what can we do about this? So we need to look more into a traditional way of marketing. So the first thing is the community-driven approach, which what does it do? It helps you go. It doesn't help you. It lets you go with your blogging, with your social media, and drive people to your store. And as Madhu mentioned, that loyalty program might be a great way to combat this privacy policy, is that when you let people know that you have a loyalty program, you will educate them how to use it, and then you will bring this to their needs. You will provide a very great values for them to complete some actions. So by actions, it might be just registers on your website, sign-ups to your newsletter, but the main ones we of course know is like the purchases. So you will tell them, hey, do this one and get more point purchase from my website and get this kind of discounts. And another great reason for loyalty program here is that you will get the first party data. It will help you to understand the customer behavior, I would say, in an efficient way, since you will know all those touch points which will help you understand what people like and what people not like on your store, and it will be a great way for you to make the decisions. So, but in order for this for all of this work, you need to sit and think of the loyalty program like something like out of the box. You need to think, you need to put a plan where you will educate your shoppers or educate your audience, since we know that retention is one of the great things that we can use now due to the acquisition. That acquisition we are not the acquisition is getting higher, and retention is one of the great tools that we can use. So with introducing the loyalty program, with understanding the first party data, you will get this all touch points and put the flow in a very proper way. You will educate them about your loyalty program. You'll put the steps, like how can they use the loyalty program. You'll put some prompts on like how can they sign up for your loyalty program. As you might know, like the standard loyalty program will have a to use the loyalty program, you need to have an account, but you need to people tell like, hey guys, here's a 10% off, or here's a $10 off on some kind of products if you will register now and enroll in the loyalty program. So this is something that you can do. This is a more traditional way of marketing, because previously what I noticed is like not all brands, but a lot of dropshipping stores just use Facebook to accelerate their sales, and this thing is declining now. And traditional marketing with a loyalty program is a great way to still let people know about your website, invite them to your website, and retain them successfully on your store. This is something I can tell you about the loyalty program and its relation to the privacy policy issues that happened with their Apple and Meta platform.
Yeah, yeah. One question from audience, which also kind of went well with mine, so I'm going to pick that one, right? Is loyalty programs can sometimes get boring, right? It becomes like just point programs, and you don't want that. You want something new and refreshing. And this is a trend also that I saw, right? That people want to support like great causes, like environmental, social, governance type of causes. So how can different Shopify store owners incorporate that, Tim? What are your tips on that?
It's actually a very great question. So this is something I wanted to talk about after the previous one. So here is something that can differentiate you from other stores. And yes, you are right. If you don't put some efforts and don't put a lot of time, not a lot of time, don't put your time and will into a loyalty program, it will be the basic one, like sign up, get this one, purchase this, get this kind of points, and then monetize them. But here, we'll talk about the Gen Z as well. So here, what we want to do is we want to add some purpose to our loyalty program. So what does it help with? It helps with attraction. It helps with the engagement of your customers. And also, apart from this, like it's a bit of off topic, but it adapts some responsible behavior to all your customers. This is something new, I know, but in some small areas it's getting trendy, but not people still know about this. So it is a hidden, let's say it's a hidden trend. So here I'm sharing like a super mega insights that you cannot find on the internet. This is everything was done through the manual research. So as you can see at the first number, it says 13% of all rewards were on ESG causes. What does it say? It says around like 1 out of 10 spending rules were on something like planting a tree, as you can see on this screenshot. What does it say? It says that the ESG cause loyalty program is actually being utilized, so we can start using this. But here's the second thing. People who engage in ESG loyalty programs on average are 10% younger. Why I mentioned Gen Z? We know, right? To attract Gen Z audience, it's super high because we need to build a community around this. And with the ESG causes in our loyalty program, we can do this. Why? Because this secret says us about this. So what can we do is, once we attract audience and we engage them, we let them know that they can spend their points on planting trees or cleaning in corals, and then we can use all the data to create an impact pages as well, like the landing page where let's say me as a brand will mention in 2022 we've cleaned like some kilometers of like a waste on the beach, or we planted trees in Madagascar. These small things, these small touches are very important to your brand, because previously I mentioned about the community-driven approach, a more traditional way of marketing, and here comes the ESG. It helps, all these parts helps to build a great big community, which is actually meaningful. This is what I want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that answers the direct question from the person at the chat window, right? Cheryl has asked us about like what can they do to make the program more interesting. This definitely will make it more interesting, and it seems like it's paying rewards for a lot of customers, right? 13% is not a small number. It's like you said, 1 in 10 users are basically like loving this program. So yeah. I have a question that I want to ask the audience members here, right? There are few who already have a loyalty program. There are a few who don't have a loyalty program, right? But I wanted to see if you guys know this trivia fact. How many loyalty program members are more likely to make repeat purchases, right, compared to non-members? Because we have been talking about loyalty program, and it's important because it can help you bring back repeat customers, right? It can really help that. So I just wanted to see how many of you guys can guess the answer correctly. Okay, looks like a lot of participants are actively responding. This is great. We have close to five responses. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it on for another 20 seconds, 30 seconds, just to see if we can get more responses that are closer to the correct answer. It is a hint.
Yeah. And I think why it's 13%, because it's not really popular still. This is something that you can go for now and get the benefits like in the next 2-3 years. Because you might all know about Antawo. It's a big loyalty cloud for the enterprise customers. And I've read in their report that ESG cause in loyalty programs is actually will be trending in the next 3 years.
Yeah. So the correct answer, as Tim mentioned, is 30%, right? It's still not very popularly adopted, which actually means it's a good news for you guys who are visiting this, right? You're getting ahead of the curve. You can basically get started on something that not a lot of your competitors might be doing, right? So do think about having a loyalty program, because it is a great way to engage your existing customers. And that is very important in the day and age we live in, right? In the current economic situation, if you think about it, spending power is becoming less and less as we go, right? And with that, what will happen is customers will start shopping around for different benefits from different companies. And so you want to retain them as much as you can and see how you can, push it to the next level, right? So that's why loyalty programs will be really important. The next question that I have, Tim, for you is basically the other big challenge, right? The other big challenge that we see in the market is cart abandonment, right? For those who may not know what cart abandonment is, basically you brought your customer all the way to the cart page, and they either add it to the cart and then they're leaving you, right? Which is really less desirable. So you want to make sure that you convert on this. So any suggestions and tips and tricks and how we can change that, Tim?
So actually this thing, this is another pain in one place that happens to a lot of merchants. Let's go with this. Oops. So whenever I read materials about cart abandonment on like big websites, the number always fluctuates. But as you mentioned, it's a very huge negative impact that on our websites, on our businesses, because the number fluctuates from 60 to 70 to 80, but the average I took is around 70. Imagine like out of 10, only 3 carts will be successfully go through the checkout. It's for me, if I see this number first time, it will be like, boom, what is this? How can this actually happen? But we used to this, and we used to counter this. And here's a great thing that we can use to counter the 70% and make this 70% go lower. As I mentioned, I work at GrowWave. We have wishlist feature along with our loyalty and review programs, and wishlist feature can help you with this. As you might know that Amazon have something like called the shopping list, and a lot of shops you might whenever you browse in some other shops when you didn't have the proper intent to buy the proper product, you might notice the heart icons or something that says save to my wish list or save to my like the shopping list for later. This is like a very small and very important thing to introduce to your customers. When you introduce the wish list to your customers, they will no longer go for carts. They will not like pollute the carts, let's say it's like this. But you need to let them know that, let's say if the product is not available, you need to state on your product page that you can save it and later when it's available, we'll let you know. Or let's say if the product is expensive and person saves it, you can also let them know that whenever the sale comes, that the product will be available at the discounted price. So as you might notice, there is a pattern. So the pattern is that actually the triggers. With these triggers, you can achieve a lot of things. So I put 3 examples here in my slides. The most popular one, but back in stock, you know, like there are even like a lot of apps for this on Shopify for only one thing, since it's something very big, something that people can combat. So back in stock, what happens here? Whenever you have a product which is unavailable at the moment for the shopper, as I mentioned, you let them know that, hey, this product is not available now, save it to your wish list. So whenever it's available, they will get the personalized email saying like, hey team, your t-shirt is back in stock, go ahead and grab it. And you can even, with the GrowWave, you can even put some recommended sections below which can attract them as well. So this is one thing. And here's the second one, is a different example that I wanted to put is sold out soon, but this 3 words doesn't tell us anything. So basically it's fear of missing out. And what happens here, you save the item for later and forgot about this. And then at some point it got low in inventory. So let's say there are only 5 t-shirts left. What happens is that the service, let's say in our particular case, it's GrowWave, sends you an email, the personalized email saying that, hey team, hurry up, there is a product that will be sold out soon. So what it creates, the fear of missing out. What you will do, you will go back to your website, and what merchant gets, merchant wins back you, wins you back. And the last thing here is this,
sorry, I was just going to add there, right? From the mobile app side of the world, the equivalent would be to see first-party data about how when they put it on cart or when they put it on wish list, you can, as a merchant, see the first-party data that you own, right, Royally, right, and see if maybe the product is a little overpriced, and you can reduce it a little bit and see if that discount helps convert the sale, right? This is also a good mechanism to understand your pricing. And like you said, back in stock alerts and other alerts like this, we do have a lot of integrations with Vajro's mobile app. So all of this will come to you with the click of a few buttons. So I just wanted to remind that. And another way, like you were saying, right, email notifications, there is also push notifications from mobile app. That is a default feature that's available in all of our plans. So you as a merchant can basically send abandoned cart notification, right? Like, hey, your cart misses you or something like that. You can send those push notifications directly from Vajro dashboard to your individual mobile app users on their mobile app. So it's a really cool functionality that we have.
Yes, very great that you mentioned this, because if I'm not mistaken, I put something in our slides that about the technology infrastructure, and that merchants should focus on this.
Right? Is it?
Yeah, I'll talk about this later, I guess. So
Yeah,
I put
yeah.
this in examples. So Madhu continued with this, and I think I want to talk about the push notifications. If you don't mind, I can just continue.
Sure. Or yeah, go for it. There is a question from audience member.
Oh,
If you want to answer that first, I can read it out for you, Tim. So basically, the question is, how can you have app-only products to sell so you can advertise that it is only available on the app, right? I can take that question because
sure.
basically what we have is in one of the built-in features. I was telling you, right, there are over 200 features. One of them is essentially a sticker. So each of your product that's available only on the app, you can put a sticker that says app only or something like that, right? And you can offer discounts on those as well, right? So you can do all of that from basically within the app. You can just put that sticker on specific products, and it's very easy to set up. It's very easy to configure, and all of that comes in as part of the default functionality that we have here at Vajro, right? Yeah. So the next question is, do you have to use a third party to execute what he's talking about? Which specific one?
I think I can go for it since GrowWave, we mentioned about two apps, right? The loyalty and the wish list. With
Got it.
GrowWave, you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
So I think GrowWave is the answer for this. Yes, this is a third-party app, but I believe, in my opinion, it's a very essential app that helps you to retain your customers during this time.
Yeah. Another question from Jalene is, so do you upload the product directly to the app, not Shopify? No, so basically our app is built to work alongside Shopify. So it has automatic sync with the inventory, with everything from Shopify. So what you will do is if there is a app only product, you will just put that on a sticker and make sure that, it's added specifically, that alone is added specifically to the app, right? It doesn't have to be that, and then you would go through the process of having the sticker and giving discounts and whatnot, right? But yeah, it all comes from Shopify as of now. Shopify is the main provider for that.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, maybe Tim, you can show the push notification related thing that you said you have prepared for the attendees today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since Madhu mentioned about the mobile app, and we all get those push notifications, right, through the mobile apps. And what it is actually for you as a merchant, it's a communication channel with an audience that whenever the app is not in use. I think it's like the perfect, super simple definition of this. And I would like to ask you to look at this number. So we have 62% of push-enabled users return to the app 1 month after they download it. So what this number says is that we need to educate people, let the people know that they need to turn on their push notifications, and we are good to go, since most of them, like 62% of them, will retain with our app. We can wish them out with our push notifications. And actually, let's say we send back in stock emails with the GrowWave. At the same time, we can send the back in stock reminders or push notifications with Vajro as well. So it works simultaneously and depends on one trigger. And this is a very great news for us, I guess. Why? Since push notifications grabs attention whenever that app is not in use, grabs attention. It's right in your hand. You can just tap on it and go ahead and proceed with buying the product, or let's say proceed with leaving a review in some different cases. So there are different examples for this. And also, what happens again? You win back the customers, not on your website, but this time around on your mobile app. So what happens? You are re-engaging with your customer. And for this, for push notifications, just to let you know, there are like a lot of variants, but I want to stop on this too. So there might be like the automated ones and the personalized ones. And personalized ones, just to let you know, they depend on some kind of triggers as an example, the wishlist example, wishlist backend stock example was the perfect one. And the automated ones would be the ones you schedule for the specific events. So that's what I wanted to share as well, along with the backend stock emails and push notifications, because, you know, like, let's say you connect Vajro with GrowWave, and you can do a lot of things with this, since GrowWave will handle the part with the emails, backend stock emails, sales emails, review request emails. At the same time, Vajro will help you all with all the push notifications. So you reach your shoppers at two different channels, and your chances of winning them back to your store and to your mobile app is much higher.
And talking about Vajro helping with push notifications, I have a surprise giveaway at the end of this webinar. Basically, we have curated some push notification templates for you guys, right? Essentially, if you want to do some holiday promotions this entire quarter, and we're going to do this the entire year, but it's available for the entire quarter now, where you can just download the template. I'll give you the link at the end and talk about it as a thank you, like, you know, for staying till the end. But basically, it will be customized templates that we provide for each holiday that is going to come up this entire quarter and this entire year, that you can use to engage with your customers in a very meaningful way and offer some promotions and discounts for them.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. Because I always like to look at something before going for something. So that's a very nice perk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's just a sorry.
Go ahead.
Here's just a small example, what I've talked previously. So here's my advice to a store owner or like a Shopify merchant. Before going for different apps, I would suggest go for a solutions. Like at the end of the day, we need a solution for our needs, for our requirements to retain customers, to attract customers, and etc. And here's just an example of how, let's say, one solution can work and continuously go for something else. So as I mentioned, the person saves an item to their wish list, then the wish list triggers the automation. Here's just a visualization, so you know. Then GrowWave sends the emails, Vajro sends the push notifications, and then let's say user buy the product, and then the customer is queued to receive the email about the reviews, and at the same time Vajro goes for the push notifications about the review request. This is just a visualization of what I was talking about, so you can understand better. Yeah. I think is there any...
Another question here from Cheryl is what are some exciting trends that you see on the horizon for loyalty programs, right? Because the point-based programs, Cheryl is still not convinced is right for everyone, which makes sense. So what are some exciting trends, Tim? Anything that you can provide? I have read up about gamification being used in loyalty programs. Is that something that is really on the trend? Any other trends that you can talk about, Tim?
So far, what I know is like the ESG course, when you put it with a loyalty program. Yeah, you mentioned the gamification is something as well, but gamification works well when you want to attract the customer to your loyalty program or to register on something. So I would better say that it's not about like the retention, but it's more about like the attracting. So you gamify the first experience and provide with the nice perks. That's when it works the best. So let's say there will be like a spinning wheel or something like this. This is something to hold the visitor, your website visitor, or your website visitor on your store for longer and get some information, first party data from them. Apart from that, what can I tell? if you're like a huge store, big store, you can go for the partnerships. Same, I read this on Antavo, where the partnerships with a few services with make a difference in your loyalty program, because how can I explain this? So basically, when there are two niche businesses offering the perks in their loyalty program. So let's say I offer the Madhu service as a perk, and Madhu offers my service as a perk. So
something like a strategic partnership, right? Yeah. I was also reading about that on the trends that are coming up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, these are
another
the trends.
question that we have here, Tim, is how can they tie in UGC or social aspects to their Shopify stores and their app?
Is there a tie-in strategy for UGC? Okay. The app only. Okay. So for this one, before coming to this webinar, I was thinking to talk about social media and stuff, but I understand that's it's not my expertise. I don't want to touch on this. I would better touch on something that I've faced already, of course, with our partners at Vajro, and where I have an expertise. So basically, when we talk about the social media, and we talk about your subscribers, followers, and we talk about your business, we need to communicate these things with each other. And what can we do with this is the live selling. So you might all know that Vajro also offers the live selling. I think it's Blink, right? Yeah, Vajro offers Blink as a live selling, where you can what you can actually do with this, you can go for the live sessions on Facebook and your website and put some try-on sessions where you try on your t-shirt and let people know what fits the best on what size and whatnot. And oops, sorry. And at the same time, your subscribers, followers, at the same time, there are your shop visitors, because you have all the functionality needed during the live session. You can let them purchase, because you might catch them during their consideration period, and you might answer their questions directly in the personal way, build relationship, and increase the conversions. This is like this is also like a hidden gem. As I mentioned, like the ESG causes are very great. It's a hidden trend. This thing is also like a hidden trend still, because it will make a difference. It will help you stand out from your competitors. And also the very great stats, as you can see on the slides, that 40% of people less likely to return an item than other traditional channels, according to core site data. 40% it's a huge amount. So what it does as well is a lower return rates. And what it does, it catches your audience during the consideration period when you go live on Facebook or in your store, because you have all the functionality needed. You can let them just purchase straight away from the live session. This is something super great, because it's it's super hot lead, it's super hot prospect. It's not like the cold one where you need to build a relationship first. Here you contact them like directly. You contact them directly. You go for regular communication. You go in. You build a proper relationships, and
and
all
in
the
live
small
selling
things.
And in live selling, the other key thing that happens is it provides the in-person effect that we have all been missing with our e-commerce shopping, right? A lot of people like me are used to shopping in person, and they want to do that again, where they want to talk to somebody, understand what is the benefit of using some product versus something that is because I don't know about all the products, right? So when I ask the store person themselves, they get to give their expert opinion, saying this is better, that is better. And as Cheryl is pointing out, it's a great way to attract and retain customers, because it develops a relationship, right? Like we do build a relationship with the merchant and the person coming to the store, which is what you were also saying, Tim, right? And yeah, as Tim, you said, it's slow to catch on, sort of a hidden trend, but in US it's already like crazy. Like
Oh
I know
wow.
China started it originally with Alibaba doing some stuff, right? In 2015 or 16, and I remember reading some stat about it. It was like crazy, $7 billion sales or something they did in the first live session in like 1 hour or
Oh
something.
wow.
It was something huge and crazy, right? But yeah, even in the US, it's catching on, like really popular. There is like so many boutique stores, so many like clothing retail stores that use live selling, because that's an element where you want to actually see the clothes for yourself, right? Like when you see the color,
Yeah.
that it's genuinely black or genuinely like the color you're looking for. So it really helps you, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
something amazing. Since let's say if you don't have a brick and mortar store, you can go for live selling, and it creates that effect of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
relationship with a merchant and shopper. There's
yeah.
something that was missing in e-commerce, I guess.
Yeah. And in live selling, our product Blink, we have even seen customers who are like, not, who don't even have a brick and mortar store use it, right? They just do the live session from their home with a tripod stand, and they create this engaging content, right? Like they are so creative, and they show all their creativity in these live selling videos, and they can easily sell the product, right? It's all about having the right people talk about the product, so you get excited about it as a customer looking at this video, and you're like, I really want to buy that too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Another question
this
that's
is
here
interesting. Yeah.
on the chat window is from Glow Up. They want to know if the app only product sales will be recorded in the Shopify stats. Yes, absolutely. For Vajro, we do have a option that allows you to just get that number inside your Shopify dashboard itself. So absolutely, yeah, doable. And we are also building a analytics product that is going to come in this quarter, that I want to just highlight in this context because it makes sense, which would basically give you Vajro specific metrics, right? Like the mobile app sales that you have brought in, average order value through the mobile app sales. It'll give you all those dashboard information right off the bat for you. That feature is not there yet. It's coming up. It's on the pipeline. It's coming anytime soon. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, there is another
This
question
is
here, very
yeah.
specific about the functionality, which I don't know the answer to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that offline, Jaleen, and I'm going to get back to you via email, right, to confirm whether we can keep a product active only on the app, but not on the Shopify website. I don't know that answer off the top of my head, so I'll go back and talk to my team and get back to you on that. Yeah. Sorry, Tim, go ahead. I think you were going to say something.
No, I was just like at the end of the webinar, I'm just thinking, like how some restrictions, some limitations create and help businesses adapt to something new or something old. It's just this something that for price policy, we bring back the traditional marketing way of marketing and put the loyalty program in it and evolve this. And then we go for ESG causes, we go for live selling, and I'm just something big, like, and it's so great when people adapt to this and introduce new ways of doing great stuff on e-commerce.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the time ran by. It's almost 45 minutes.
Wow.
So if we don't have any further questions from the audience, I would like to say it was really lovely talking to all of you. You're a great audience, very interactive, asking a lot of questions. I really love that aspect. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I don't know if I actually mentioned it before, we would share a recording of this webinar, right? So that you can share it with your colleagues or others, and like, even revisit some of your points, Tim. Absolutely,
Yeah.
we could definitely do that. I think there's one more question. Is there a way where we could add another person vendor on the live app? So two live sessions side by side. Is that the question, Cheryl? If that is the question, the answer is, I think no, you can only have one live session per app at the same time. I don't know how the manufacturer and distributor can have it at the same time. Maybe they can be both part of it. Actually, I'll take that question also offline, Cheryl, and I'll get back to you. I think you will have to probably invite them into a live session somehow, and I'll definitely share that. And yeah, yes, we will share the recording link to all the attendees and all the registrants. Oh, last but not least, the giveaway I was telling you about, right? It's available on vajro.com/ebooks. So vajro.com/e-books. That's where the push notification templates are made available to you guys. I'll send a link to that via email as well on the follow-up email that we send. Absolutely, you will be able to use those push notification templates right away with all your push notification promotions that you want to do this holiday season for different holidays, right? It could be all the way from a Super Bowl promotion that you want to do to Valentine's Day promotion that you want to do this month, right? All the good stuff you want to do, we have templates for those, so you can just use them and engage with your customers in a very meaningful way. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Tim, for taking the time, and thanks, audience, for taking the time and being with us till the end. Really awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah, feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Like for mobile app side, you can contact support@vajro.com, and anything related to loyalty program, wishlist reviews, you can contact me directly. Here's my email, tomorrow@growwave.io. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.